Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for March 2025. You have this card. It says the energy is gaining momentum, and also this expect a powerful change card. So clearly, there could be a powerful change that is coming in for you at this time. A lot of people have been getting these momentum cards, and actually today, February 23rd, I'm recording this video, and today Mars goes direct, so, I definitely feel people could be feeling momentum energy, and you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a card of momentum, so things are definitely picking up, or at least they seem to be, in your reading. You have the Nine of Cups, the Lovers, and the Ace of Wands. Something I've noticed over the years is that whenever Venus goes retrograde, a ton of love cards always show up, and which is kind of funny. I even remember the last Venus retrograde that everybody was getting like a ton of love cards in their readings. Now, it is Venus retrograde, but it's not like a Mercury retrograde. You can actually meet the love of your life during a Venus retrograde, so I always tell people it's perfectly fine to date during retrogrades, I think, in the first place. Like, if someone's meant for you, the universe isn't going to be like, oh, it's a retrograde, so I have to ruin this, right? If it's meant to work, it's meant to work, plain and simple. I just tell people, like, make sure you're paying attention during Venus retrograde. But you have the Nine of Cups, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands. Nine of Cups is fulfillment or wish fulfillment, and, there definitely could be a wish coming true for you here. I mean, you have the Ten of Pentacles as well. So really good cards of fulfillment showing up in the reading, and yeah, I really don't have much to say here. I just think it's good. You have the Lovers, and there definitely could be love coming in for you. You have the Page of Pentacles at the end, and usually the Page of Pentacles is a new person. Also, usually they are a messenger, so the Page of Pentacles can represent like a person who messages you or who slides into your DMs or something like that, so or contacts you by email if they're old, I guess, because you kids don't do that nowadays. But again, someone's doing something here, so there could definitely be communication with a person. I also feel that this could be talking about a new journey for you here, Sag. The Lovers can sometimes represent being at a crossroads and having a choice to make. You also have the Page of Wands, which can represent like a new adventure. And on top of that, you, of course, have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands can represent out with the old, in with the new, and the Ace of Wands can come up when we're like starting a new project or starting a new business or something along those lines. Usually the Ace of Wands is also very much more exciting. So there's, it's a card of a passionate new beginning. So if you are starting something new, there probably is a lot more passion attached to it. Now, the one thing that I will say with Ace of Wands is we have, the Ace of Wands is only a spark. We have to keep putting wood on the fire. So if you're starting something good, keep putting wood on the fire. Keep the momentum going. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, the energy is gaining momentum, but that means nothing. Energy means nothing in general. It's like if you don't take advantage of it, nothing's going to happen. So, if you're starting something new, make sure you're nurturing it into existence and, taking action. So, make sure to do it. But let's see what we have for you. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent blessings. He is actually making this symbol right here, and that symbol represents him blessing these two people in front of him. Sometimes I feel with the Hierophant that he can kind of say that you have passed like a spiritual test, or you have gone through a time of spiritual learning, and now you're receiving blessings for all the things that you've been through, and that definitely looks good, so I like to see that. With the Lovers, you have the Knight of Pentacles, slow. The Knight of Pentacles is very slow. The Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that isn't making a move in the tarot. He's the only one that isn't doing anything. He has a lot of potential. There are these empty fields behind him, and he could easily plant seeds in those empty fields, and they would grow, but he needs to go and do it. So for a lot of you, you could be attracting a person who's like taking it slow or moving slowly. Not really a problem because, again, Venus retrograde. So, definitely, even though you can meet someone great during Venus retrograde, I would still take your time. Like, there's no need to rush. And I kind of feel the Knight of Pentacles is saying that. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. I mean, this could be if you're getting into a new connection, it could be a very healing connection. The Three of Swords is about removing those swords from your own heart and healing your heart. So we have to practice forgiveness with the Three of Swords. We don't have to forgive a person directly. We just have to forgive them in our heart. That's it. And then move on, right? So I think I think everybody basically has had a card of forgiveness this month, and it could be a great month to forgive. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Unfolding Beauty card. It says, everything is unfolding as it should. Surrender and live in the unexpected. You have this Choose a Path card, and definitely you have the Lovers. It says, there are many paths before you, but you may only choose one. So I think this reading is pretty simple. It's saying, follow your heart. You have the Queen of Cups showing up here. So you might have a lot of options, but there could be one option that, if you really think about it, is more connected to your heart, and we'll talk about it. You have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about just being excited for an adventure. I always say the thing about the Page of Wands that's like a little bit weird is that, maybe a little bit more on the challenging side, is that he doesn't have proof that what he's going to do is going to work. He is just following his excitement, which again means nothing, basically. So, a lot of you might have some good ideas, but maybe what has been holding you back is that there's no proof that what you want to do is actually going to work. And so that could be like a little bit of a challenge that you are facing at this time. I also feel, to me, I always look for a challenge in the readings. And to me, the Ten of Wands is probably your challenge, that you just have too much going on, that you have a lot to do, and maybe that's a challenge that you've been dealing with for a while. You have the Queen of Cups. Again, Queen of Cups follows her heart. And what I would do if I were you, Sagittarius, is that I would really ask yourself, like, if there were no limitations, if there was no limits, nothing could stop you, what would you be doing? And usually that's what your heart is telling you to do, is something where there is something that could be holding you back, right? A lot of the times, people will say, like, well, I have to get this job, but what I really want to be doing is I want to go start my own zoo or whatever, right? And so people always have that other thing, and usually that other thing is really what your heart is telling you to do. And so the Queen of Cups wants us to follow our heart. Now, in life, we have certain obligations, responsibilities, Ten of Wands that we have to take care of. And so the Queen of Cups says, well, how can you do it anyway? It's like, maybe you can't start a zoo in your backyard, but maybe you could start talking about animals on YouTube, right? Or maybe you could start learning about how to have a zoo. Maybe you could go get a job at the zoo, right? There's a lot of things that you could do, and that they might not be exactly what your dream is, but you can get close. And I definitely feel that in this reading, where the Queen of Cups is saying, get as close as you can to the thing that you want, even if it seems far away. Because I think that you would be surprised at how close you could actually get if you just started getting as close as you can. And I feel like that's what she wants you to do, no matter how impossible your dream may seem. You have the Knight of Swords. Sometimes I feel with the Knight of Swords that he is kind of like running up to a certain part in the reading, and then he's running away. So in this reading, he would be running up to the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands can represent conflict and competition, of course. I feel like this reading is saying, like, yeah, there might be competition for something you want, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't win the competition, right? So I feel this is saying just simply do not back down if there's competition. Push through it. With the Page of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. I basically said it, that I kind of felt a little bit of a challenge with the Page of Wands. And the Five of Cups is regrets. So this could say that you are fearing that if you go and start that zoo in your backyard, that you will have regrets. Or you're fearing that something won't work out. The Five of Cups says you have to turn around and, again, see what you can do, these two cups, and then you'll get this bridge and this castle. So the Five of Cups is really about being grateful for what you do have. Or in this case, I think it would be about being grateful that you can get as close as you possibly can to your actual dream. And if you do that, then you'll turn things around. Here we go. I said turn around. And with the Queen of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like something is part of your destiny, and you have to go and live your destiny. And maybe that's what this reading is really saying, is that there's like part of something that is part of your, or could be part of your destiny, but you have to go and make it happen. And that's what I would do with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is about getting the wheel to spin forward. Get the wheel is always spinning. I always say that most people live in the washing machine of life. They're just getting tossed around all over the place. The wheel is spinning in whatever direction it wants. But if we start doubling down in the right direction, things will start moving in that direction, and eventually we'll build momentum, and we will create a powerful change, as that first card says. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Seven of Pentacles. You never know when things will change, is what I'm hearing here. It's like, yeah, there might have been competition, or there might be competition, but the Seven of Pentacles is changes. It really represents a change in direction. But the Seven of Pentacles might say that you have changed over a period of time. So it's like what once was competition for you might not be competition anymore, but you won't realize that until you take part in the competition. And so I kind of feel this is the reading itself is encouraging you to compete. And this, I don't really feel this is like a real competition that you're entering into. It's like this could be you going and getting a job where there's a lot of competition for the job, or you starting a YouTube channel where there's a lot of competition, or whatever it is for you. And I feel like you need to realize that like things change over time. So it's like maybe in the past you wouldn't have been able to compete, but you have changed, you are different, so things are different, so maybe you can win. In the area of what's coming in for you, or messages from your future self, you have this Simplicity card and this Inner Peace card. Simplicity brings inner peace, right? Usually if we are focusing on complex solutions, we are being neurotic in the first place. So I feel that keeping things simple is definitely the answer here. You have the Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Ten of Wands is like, carrying heavy burdens, carrying too many responsibilities. Now, the thing about the Ten of Wands is that some of those wands are his burdens, like that he does have to carry. But some of them might be other people's issues, or other people's problems, or other people's burdens. And I feel like I've been saying this to you for weeks. Like, I'm pretty sure you have had this card with me recently, for the past few readings, and I would definitely take a cold, hard look at the responsibilities you have and get rid of any of the burdens or responsibilities that don't belong to you. Ten of Wands says you have enough to deal with. Ten of Wands I look at as a good card because it says you are very close to your goal. He's about to reach his home here, and what he is carrying is his harvest, but again, he has enough to deal with on his own. He doesn't need the burden. He doesn't need the extra burdens of other people. So just make sure that the burdens you're carrying are your own. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is, sorry, didn't mean to kick that, but Ten of Pentacles is amazing. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. It forms the tree of life. Ten of Pentacles, I always say, is like building and leaving a legacy. It's not something we just get, something we work on forever. But this is kind of like half the battle. Getting the Ten of Pentacles in a reading says that you can see the big picture. You can see what a good life looks like for you. And again, that's half the battle. Once you can see it, then you can start working backwards and you can create it. So I think it's time for you to create that, your dream life, or whatever you want to call it, with the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Five of Wands, again, conflict and competition. I really feel that you're rising above the competition, or you have the opportunity to stand out above the competition. But it's very simple. I think you have to do it to make that happen, right? With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four Swords. Yes, you probably need a break, just in general, with the Ten of Wands. Four Swords is like resting, relaxing, recovering. He's also like hoping and praying for a blessing. And so there could be blessings coming in for you. No, the thing about the Ten of Wands is when those wands are all in front of his face. So he cannot see how close he is to accomplishing his goal. When he removes some of the extra burdens that don't belong to him, then he's able to see how close he is. So I think for a lot of you, taking a break, removing some of those extra burdens will actually bring blessings into your life. With the Ten of Pentacles, yeah, I feel it is time for you to attack your dreams like a rabid hyena, right? I think it's time for you to be like a wild animal, is really the vibe that I'm getting here. It's time for you to like be bold, be assertive, and really make things happen, and and make sure that nothing gets in your way. It's time for you to be like a rabid hyena that is also a steamroller. Anything that gets in your way, run it over, right? And I feel if you have that attitude that like there is no other way than for you to accomplish the Ten of Pentacles, that's the thing that will really make it happen. So again, very simple. That's what I would be focusing on. With the Five of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. A Ten of Swords can be like, something that's dead, done, over with. Ten of Swords can also be a blessing in disguise. he's making this symbol right here with his hand, and it's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card, and we have the Hierophant right here going down. And so, something that didn't work out in the past could have been a blessing. I'm wondering if you're entering into competition again. Like maybe you've tried to do this competition before, whatever it is, whether it's like love, money, business, or otherwise. And, I feel that maybe you took some time for yourself, you learned a lot, and it's like now you're much better prepared is kind of the feeling I get here. Although I think the one thing that needs to change is your mindset with that Knight of Swords. Believing that you can do it is what you need to overcome. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this leader card. It says, as a born leader, you can truly bring out the best in others by guiding them and inspiring them. You have this author. It says, your words will have a great impact on those who read them. So, yeah, some of you could be publishing. This could also be the words that you're using on yourself. So I would be very clear and very specific about how you talk about yourself and make sure it's in the positive so that positive things can happen. And that's what I would focus on there. You have the Seven of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Seven of Wands is about putting up boundaries. I look at the Seven of Wands as drawing a line in the sand where you are saying, like, this is what I'm willing to accept in my life, and nothing below this point can enter into my life. So I feel that. I also feel that you're feeling more prepared. The thing about the Seven of Wands is that he has a shoe and a boot on his feet. He has two different shoes on. And so the story of the Seven of Wands is that he had to rush out of his house to defend his position at the top of the hill. And so he was in such a rush that he put on two different shoes. And so number one, you have the Knight of Swords, which says, don't rush. Knight of Swords is a card of rushing. Number two, in the good stuff, it says you are probably much more prepared now to take advantage of like an opportunity or to do something that you've wanted to do. So in the good stuff, it's very good. You have the Two of Wands. I feel you are ready to take the lead. You have that leadership card or the leader card. The Two of Wands is a card of taking the lead. He is taking the lead on something new. He has this wand behind him, and that wand behind him stands on its own, and he's reaching forward and grabbing this new wand. So he is kind of like focused on creating a new reality. He has the whole world in his hands. He literally could be creating a new world for himself. And that's probably what you're taking the lead on, because you have the Ten of Pentacles right here. And, the Ten of Pentacles is your ultimate vision for your life, basically. And I feel a lot of you are just like taking the lead. You have the Page of Pentacles. I do feel a little bit of new love here, like I said at the beginning of the reading. You have a lot of Earth here. Could be an Earth sign, could be any sign. But I feel this could be more communication. And again, we do have Venus retrograde, so I always say, like, even though I think Venus retrograde is actually good for love, not bad, I would still take your time. And, if you're just talking to a person, that's fine too. But I would just, take your time. Let's see. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords, which is good. In the good stuff, this would represent setting yourself free. Normally, the Eight of Swords represents only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. But in the good stuff, the Eight of Swords would say that you are discovering many ways to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, I kind of felt this earlier. I was kind of saying this, and I was making a joke about starting a zoo. But the Queen of Pentacles is resourcefulness. I kind of feel over here that you are maybe more focused on like the resources you don't have that you would need to be able to start the Ten of Pentacles. Over here, it's like you're being much more resourceful. So again, this is a good mindset change that you could be having this month, where instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're focusing on what you do have, so you can get started, right? With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Sun, which is amazing. The Sun is the best card in the deck. It makes the whole entire reading more positive. The Sun is like happiness, joy, good things coming in for you. Positive attention as well. So very good. You have this impulsiveness card. There could be some impulsive opportunities. One thing is Mars is direct today. I'm doing this video on the 23rd. So Mars goes direct today. And, Mars is considered impulsive, but, the fact that it's going direct kind of tells me that people could be getting like random impulsive opportunities. And, those random opportunities that might be a little impulsive could actually be good. Next, you have the publicity card. You have the sun. The sun is great in a reading. It gives you a lot of attention. So, and when we are definitely in a time of positive attention, I encourage everyone to get as much attention as they possibly can because we're in a time of attention. So if you get positive attention in work or business or love, then you're going to get what you want. And I would definitely pay attention to that. You have this versatility card. I mean, you're a Sagittarius. I think you are pretty versatile. But I would just be willing to be spontaneous. Next, you have this egotism card. We're still in the Mars retrograde shadow until like May 2nd or whatever it is, or May 3rd, whatever day, I don't know. But, we need to be careful still of people who have like a big ego or people who approach us from a place of ego, and definitely something to look out for. And finally, you have this restlessness card. Yeah, I still feel, being in Mars retrograde shadow, that people will have moments of restlessness. It's what we do in those moments that's important. So with restless energy, as long as we channel it into something constructive, like going for a walk or, doing a puzzle or whatever, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm still going through puberty now. That's why my voice cracked. But, I always say, like, channel your restlessness. Put it into something so that it doesn't, like, wreak havoc in your life. But that's that. Overall, looks really good here, Sag. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.